I see one of the things that's it's weird about being a developer is you don't value the rewards in your game because you had a cheat menu that could give you whatever you want, right? So for you, it's just bits turning on and off. So as long as I got through the level, I don't really care, how many.
As long as it's playable, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So it was, when I was playing it full time every day, right? I would get good at it, but I'd get good at it in a way that doesn't have anything to do with the way that the final game requires, because we could always just like you saw the cheats in Ratchet 1. We could always just fly ourselves to the middle of the level and turn on God mode and then just go.
Yeah, that was fascinating. I loved doing that. That was great. More games need to have betas and stuff revealed with that kind of stuff. It's fascinating. So much you can learn, like even if it's just like sections which were removed or just like little tips and tricks they had with their editor. It's fantastic.
It's interesting. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that people are finding out about Ratchet 1 that I forgot about now because they're decompiling it, looking in the code, like finding assets that are still in there but weren't.
Oh really? What kind of thing?
Like somebody in, I think, the PAL version found out that the Gadgetron was originally called something else.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I totally forgotten about that because when I started, it was called Gadgetron. I don't remember. I'd have to go. But because when I started on the game, it was Gadgetron. They had just changed it like shortly before I started.
Oh, wow.
So I had never seen any of the assets with that in it, but apparently you can change some values in the PAL version and you get a different logo on the is it Kalibo? Is that the Gadgetron headquarters?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, apparently on Kalibo there's a different logo. Let's see, yeah.
That's awesome.
And I forgot all about that. Or there's things like that where they dig in, or someone dug into I think it was Ratchet 2 and found 2 prototype weapons we'd left in there by accident.
Yes, I knew they existed.
And I had forgotten completely that they were even made until somebody asked me why they were cut. And then I was like, oh, I remember those. Like, they existed for 2 weeks during pre-production, and then everyone forgot about them completely.
I always die as I kill them. God damn it.
Do you not get the
No, because I haven't collected it as I die. Like, it's because it comes out after the death animation ends, so I'm dying as soon as the death animation starts.
Womp womp.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadness. Oh well. Yeah, that's fascinating. That's really cool.
But yeah, it's neat. So people are breaking all of these things, and it's reminding me of stuff that I had forgotten about the game.
That's really cool. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Because there's so many things that get changed that I can't even remember all of the things that got changed.
Yeah, that's understandable.
There's some that stick in my mind, but others just not as much.
Where is it? Where's the dinosaur? It was around here, wasn't it? Where'd it go?
Maybe you did get the soul.
I don't think so. Maybe I did. Come out, please. Oh well. Maybe I have to kill all these guys first.
Could be.
But yeah, no, that's really interesting. I really want to find out what the Gadgetron was called now. That's amazing.
I'll Google it.
Because I thought that was just going to be a staple from the beginning. But I mean, I guess even something like that has to go through a planning testing phase. Yeah,
and usually what happens is when we change a name like that, it's because legal came back and said, oh, you know what, another product is using this name already.
Ah, yeah, okay. Because wasn't when Metropolis was changed in PS4 Ratchet?
Yeah, probably because of Superman.
Yeah.
Whereas Captain Quark, his name used to be spelled Quark, but we had to change the spelling because of Quark from Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. So stuff like that. That's kind of like, I guess not a huge deal because in the end it actually makes something more memorable. Like as a result.
Yeah. I think, and we got used to it, so it wasn't like. But like originally, the what was it called? The level that was a casino in Ratchet 2. It was like the third level. Mactar. That was originally called Space Vegas.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
But apparently, Las Vegas has like a trademark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well then. Why? For what purpose? Do they have a space casino?
Maybe they didn't want any other city to call itself something Vegas.
Oh,
I don't know.
guess. Yeah, maybe. That's possible. So have you been playing any games recently?
So yeah, but not like you'd hope.
Right. Okay.
I've been playing a game called Toy Blast on my phone. It's like a match game.
Okay.
I've been playing the hell out of that game.
Yeah, I don't really play mobile games just because my mobile capacity isn't that high, and all because it's quite an old phone. It's an i4, and also, like, all the games that are released nowadays have to work with like iOS 8 or something, and mine's iOS 7 and can't upgrade because it's so old. So it's just like, okay, well, guess I won't play these games. That looked fun. That's a shame.
I was gonna get. I have a PlayStation VR, so I was gonna get.
Oh, right.
I expected to die, but I haven't gotten that one yet. Have you heard of that?
I haven't got a VR yet because I asked for it for Christmas and birthday, but like there was just none available.
Oh. Okay.
So, I was just like, you know what? It's not a huge deal. I don't need VR right now.
Oh, I found it.
Oh, cool. Go on.
Galactron.
Galactron. Huh.
It's like if you search for on I did a search for Ratchet 1, Gadgetron, Kalibo 3, PAL.
Okay. I wonder if it's because it sounds too much like like Gallagher and stuff. Like it's sort of similar-ish.
I didn't even remember it being that, but I mean it's there.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's also weird because like it's an actual like when the opening view of Kalibo 3, that rotating letters sign.
Yeah.
So when we had text in the game, we couldn't localize it, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
So that sort of stuff didn't change based on the region. So I'm not sure why it would be there in PAL and not in other ones, because and that's why in general in Ratchet we don't have any English text on stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why we cut those posters in Ratchet 1, remember?
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
Because, in order to pass TRC, which is Sony's checklist, everything has to be in the right language when you select the language. We actually had to get a special exception for the museum.
Oh, okay.
They wanted us to either take the voices out or, get them localized. And we had to say, well, the whole point is that this is the developers talking, right? So if we localize them or take the voices out, it kind of defeats the purpose. And they saw reason with that and let us just localize the text.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's nice. Is that why there wasn't any voices in Ratchet 3? Sorry, in the
No, we didn't voices in Ratchet 3 because we didn't have time.
Ah, okay.
Like that, it took a long time for me to, because I needed like a day, maybe a day and a half worth of the sound guys' time.
Right.
And they were super busy, and then we needed like an hour or two of developers' times to do it, and they were busy. And then after all of that got done, I had to write the code to display all those things, and I was busy.
Right, I see.
So it ended up just being the text.
Fair enough.
I tried to make up for it by putting more stuff in, but people complained about that museum, man.
And I hate people who complain about it because it's one of the greatest things in the series. The museum's great. Like,
yeah, people like it too, but I got a lot of complaints about 3, which made me not want to do another one.
That's super dumb because it's just as good. It has loads of really cool stuff.
I thought so. I thought it was just as good.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what they're talking about. So we're back here because I have more power now, so it'll be easier to kill these things, which are a pain in the arse. They very rarely come towards me. Let me hit them, because I can't aim the wrench.
First person.
I can't aim the wrench, so I can only just hope they come close to me.
And hit them on the tail or whatever.
Yeah. So it's kind of sucks. But what can you do? Yeah, it's a shame. Like I can do that, but it won't let me aim up or anything. It just goes straight out of it. So it's just I can't really. There's not really much I can do here. I'm just stuck with it.
I wonder why they decided to do that.
I don't know. It's very
I mean,
odd.
this Ratchet is a completely different code base.
Yes.
From the other
first PS3
so
one.
they had to do it completely from scratch. So it makes sense that it wouldn't be exactly the same.
Yeah, it's weird that they omitted it. I know in Quest for Booty that the wrench, I don't know if you can aim it, but it compensates by actually like veering upwards if an enemy's above you.
Okay.
So it at least like partly helps. So Quest for Booty should be easier in some ways.
In Quest for Booty, can you throw it while you're moving?
No, that starts in Cracking Time.
Okay.
Really looking forward to that. I'm considering doing it in hardcore difficulty because I'm stupid.
Which one? Cracking Time?
Yeah, Cracking Time. I think that's the first game you can actually choose difficulty. You might be able to in Quest for Booty, actually.
That's gonna be rough.
Yes, it will. There are a couple of rooms in particular I'm thinking of which, like, I can't do it with weapons on normal. God help me, wrench only on hardcore. Like, everything will one-shot me, pretty much. I will hate it. I will actually hate that experience.
And everything will have more hit points, like how Nefarious did in the new one.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, man.
Hard's good. I like hard.
Yeah.
The hard's fine. I'll think about it. I might start with hardcore, and if it gets too much, I'll switch over or something.
When I do difficulty selection, whenever it's up to me, I don't change the health of enemies because like I remember one time I was playing I think it was God of War 2, and I was playing on hard, and it just wasn't as much fun because it made me feel weak, right? Like it took 3 or 4 times as many hits to kill things. So then I switched to easy mode, and all of a sudden I felt like the most powerful badass in the world. And I was just like, oh, all right. So from now on, I'm never changing enemy hit points for difficulty.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
There's other things you can do, right? Like you can reduce the amount of healing available. You can up the damage on the enemies. You can change other things, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing, especially in a game where you have weapons of insane destruction. You want to feel, or like God of War, where you are just supposed to be an utter badass. You want to feel powerful.
And especially in a game like this where you're upgrading your weapons, you don't want the enemies to also sort of upgrade and make them not feel good.
Which these enemies do. You fight them in the second planet as well, and they actually have way more health in this planet than they do. Which I guess makes sense because it's further on in the game. But it's just like, you're exactly the same. Why?
Yeah, we did.
Why are you
we
more powerful?
used to do that in the originals too, but we would always make sure to change the way they looked a little bit.
Yeah, like
we changed
Tyrannoids had extra eyes.
We changed their color, or we'd give them some extra armor, or things like that.
You're not gonna come down here, are you? Come on.
He hates.
Yeah, I would like to get all the Leviathan souls.
Or she, she's laying eggs.
True. True. And what a beautiful creature she is.
She's got a nice glow to her.
I thought you were going to say something very different.
So, this game has the Raritanium upgrades, right?
Yes, it does, but I can't use.
I love those so much.
And they've become a staple now, so...
Yeah,
well, that's going through the ground.
Wow. I'm glad they brought them back in PS4, because this is my favorite upgrade system we ever did.
Yeah. Yeah, and
so
hopefully it'll come back again. I love it. Because it's a great way to make you use weapons again, because once you upgrade it to V5, you have no real purpose. So it's done. Unless it's just a really powerful weapon. Like the starter weapon, you're never going to use that unless it's magically the most overpowered thing in the game. You're never going to use it again. So...
And it gives you another checklist, too. Like how the cards in the new Ratchet, it was just another thing I could do to 100%.
Yeah, and that's why I'm disappointed the skill points weren't there. I know there were trophies. I know there were trophies which were basically invisible skill points. But at the same time, it's not the same. It's not the same as having a numerical checklist to be like, oh, okay, there's 40 skill points in the game. Here's a hint as to what I have to do. It's in this planet. Cool. Trophies in Ratchet and Clank 4 is just hidden trophy. It's basically a skill point. Like, that doesn't tell me what I have to do, though.
I like to think that trophies just ripped off skill points.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Definitely. You started that.
They did those to Spyro, right?
Yes. Spyro 2 was the first to do that.
I think that's when Brian Algier started. He's the design director on all the Ratchet games.
Mm. Yeah, it might have been Spyro 2. I don't know if he did 1 or 2.
I'm gonna do a plug for Brian. He's got a book coming out.
Oh, cool.
So by the time that you listen to this, it won't be now, but in May he's got a book coming out on directing video games.
Oh, cool.
And he's directed more video games than I've worked on, so he knows what he's talking about. So it could be a really interesting read.
Very valuable if that's the kind of thing you're looking into doing in the industry as well.
Yeah, and if you're a Ratchet fan, I mean, he directed all the Ratchet games, so
yeah,
definitely check that out.
Yeah,
Brian got this book. I'll get the title because
yeah, I was gonna say, do you know what the title is? Because I'm intrigued.
Directing Video Games: 101 Tips for Creative Leaders.
Cool. I will check that out.
And that comes out on... When does it come out? Oh, it comes out today.
Oh, well then.
May 6th.
Dating the episode.
By the time you...
3 weeks ago.
It will be there. Okay, I guess I'm buying it right now.
Cool. The,
Bam! What?
Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what Insomniac do with Spider-Man.
Me too, man. That's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what from that trailer was gameplay or just like recreated to show it, but oh man, it looks so cool.
So here's the thing I'm thinking, right? Like, they did Sunset Overdrive, and Sunset Overdrive is all about like flying and swinging and doing all crazy shit in a huge city, right? So they pretty much know exactly what they need to do to make a great Spider-Man game.
Yeah, that's very true. They just have to make it feel like one.
Yeah, and
that is very different.
So I have high hopes.
Yeah, oh, I mean anything Insomniac, I have high hopes. So, but yeah, that's really cool. Just the fact that it exists, a new Spider-Man that's probably going to be really good, is very exciting. I think, at least.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say this because you probably don't care, but you need to play it. It's so good. Do you want to throw away literally 150 hours of your life? Play Persona 5. It's literally the best turn-based RPG in the world.
Okay.
There is no greater turn-based RPG.
What I hear you saying is that it's a good turn-based RPG.
Yes, that is basically the gist, except it's better than that.
like what kind of turn-based RPG is like Fire Emblem or?
So it's you basically everything is mapped to like a button in the menu. So it's not like you scroll through a menu. Triangle takes out your persona, and you've got a bunch of attributes. So each persona can do different things. So it might be able to raise your party's defense, or it might be able to cast wind or fire or whatever. There are multiple ways to attack. Basically, the X button allows you to just attack with your normal weapon. The up button will allow you to bring out the gun to fire at enemies. Basically, enemies with wings are usually weak to the gun, stuff like that. Every enemy has a different weakness, as sounds obvious. If you end up stunning all enemies, you can do an all-out attack, which basically will deal a huge amount of damage to all the enemies, mostly taking them out, depending on if you're higher level than them. Or you can interrogate them, where you can basically get an item from them, take money from them, or you can like basically reason with them and try and get them to become your persona. So you can actually, your enemies will join you as the game progresses, and you can also fuse two personas together by literally sacrificing both of them under a guillotine and creating something new. But it's basically like a high school sim. Like you're in high school and you've got exams and questions and stuff outside of it. But like as great as the combat is, and the combat and the story is phenomenal, the the series has always thrived upon its social links, or in this case, the term is confidants. And the confidants are basically, like, I think it's, I want to say 17 characters throughout the game, who have 10 different ranks of confidant level. And basically, each time you spend time with them, you learn something more about them, the trouble they're having, you, like, become friends with them, basically, and over time. And it's, every single one is so radically different and so emotionally attached. Like, you will get attached to so many characters in the game, and through one way or another, and it thrives on that in the best way. What was that?
So they did a good job?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. It's phenomenal. I have put in, as of right now, about 80 hours, and I've got 3 dungeons left. No, yeah, 3 dungeons left. And I'm doing quite well with the Confidant. But they
won't let you put it on YouTube, right?
Yes and no. So they said you can't do it up to a certain point, which was in-game July 7th. They've updated it to November because that's like the final act of the game. So they've been a little bit kinder. But I'm doing a playthrough on my Patreon, $10 go. But yeah, no, that's it's not just a playthrough; it's an extensive guide walkthrough. It's fun. It's going well. Go support
Teal on Patreon, everybody. Do it.
You should. It's totally worth it. You get access to the Discord, and we get to play games together like Mario Kart and Wipeout when that comes out. I'm so hyped for Wipeout.
And because it's Patreon, you can pay whatever you want. Go for it, guys.
You can. I was gonna have a small loan of $1 million tier, but then it occurred to me someone might actually be stupid enough to try it and not realize that they will actually be charged $1 million. So I was just like, no, you know what? I won't, because that will literally ruin someone's life forever. So let's not do that for a joke. Let's not. But no, it's just if you like turn-based RPGs, it's the most fun you'll ever have with them. It's so flawless. It's so stylish. The music is fantastic. You will not get through the game without just dancing to it or moving, at least rhythmically. You'll grow attached. You will lose time to this game. Like, I've had people who weren't interested in other Persona games. One of my friends, Andrew, he wasn't too fussed about Persona 4. I love Persona 4, but he wasn't too fussed about it. And he ended up playing Persona 5 for... Oh, God. He ended up playing it for about, I feel like 10 hours a day, every day.
Wow.
He didn't sleep. He went to work, came home at like 7 PM, had dinner, and then played it until like 5 AM. Slept for 3 hours, went to work. Like, you madman. I respect that. It's a good game, isn't it? It's like, yes! I'm dating my teacher! It's great! Okay.
Well, the university I'm working at right now is on summer break, so this would be a good time for me to drop that.
Like, it's... Like, you should actually do it. Like, check out a couple of gameplay videos if you're interested. Like,
is it on PlayStation?
Yeah, PS4.
Okay.
It's so worth it. It's just the best experience I've had in an RPG. I love it. I love it so much. It might be my favorite game of all time.
Oh wow.
I just can't get enough of it. It's so much fun. I would be playing it more if I didn't have other things to do.
Except for my games, right, Teal?
Oh no, your games are fucking the best. They are the best. Ratchet Free, Skylanders is great. You know, all those games.
You know it's a real compliment when you ask for it.
Yeah, though, real talk, that game I did get to play of yours, which was never released, the mobile game, I really liked that. As the prototype that I played it in LA. That was fun.
Which one was that?
It was where you managed the store, and it was really
fun.
Oh
yeah, right.
That was a really fun game. I forgot what it was called now, but...
It was RPG Mart, yeah.
Yes.
We ran out of money. Couldn't make it.
Yeah, I really liked what you were doing with that. It was really cool.
I should have you play my RPG demo.
I would love to do that.
Problem is right now all that's in there is the story, like the combat
Okay.
works, but it's not real yet. And there's probably bugs everywhere.
You know, that's fine. I'm sure, despite the fact that there'll be bugs and things won't be completed, I'm sure I've played worse games and more incomplete games in my time.
Probably, yeah.
There are some that do get released like that, and it is a shame, but it's also funny. So
yeah, the big new thing I'm learning with this one is how to do scripted 2D cutscenes, which It's working out pretty well, actually.
No, that's cool.
But yeah, the combat system is, I think it's going to be fun, but that's a whole nother bag of worms.
Mm.
I'm trying to make it so that, because normally the way you balance these things is by hand, one setup at a time.
Right.
And I'm not having any random fights.
Okay.
So I can't just like make, 10 encounters and have them loop while you're in an area. So I'm trying to figure out how I can make it so I don't have to author each one of those individually.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you let me give it a try, I will give it a good old go. If you want, I can record it and upload it as unlisted so you can see my reactions and my thought processes and find out things that I have broken, because
That's a good idea. I should do that. I'll send you a build.
I did that with my friend, a different Andrew, but he was doing Mario Hack, and he basically wanted me to test it out and give feedback and stuff. So I was just like, well, I could do that, or I could record my time of it and show you what I'm struggling as a player, or like what I find too difficult and blah blah blah. You get the idea.
Yep.
And it actually really helped him, and then he got really busy and he didn't work on it for like 2 more years. But that's alright, it was still fun to play through, so I don't really care.
Watching video of someone talking while they're playing is really useful.
Yeah, you were saying that with Skylanders.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to do user testing, but often when you have a bunch of people in a room together, you don't want them all talking.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do.
Mm.